Hi guys, it is now, what time is it? 8:11 a.m. on the 35th day I'm doing this. And so after I did the workout last night and felt really nauseous, I was like, it's time to go to sleep. I did drink a little bit of water, but I also am proud of myself for doing it at a time where I literally can just lay down afterwards. And I still think it was a good thing to do, type of thing. But I ended up turning on the first day of the Tap with Brad challenge. I think it's like the Miracle Challenge. And, you know, I ended up having like a kind of a breakthrough with that. Not so much the content per se, but I realized that I could turn on, as long as it's a self contained thing, meaning it's not going to jump to something triggering or loud. Um, it's actually really soothing for me to kind of have some sort of noise in the background. At least it was last night, is my point. I'm sure it got into my subconscious, even if I couldn't, because I didn't want to have it too loud that I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean? But regardless, I fell asleep at some point. I must have. And I think I woke up originally probably around 6 or something. My back is still, in pain, but I feel like it's a little better than yesterday. And I listened to something this morning and I did a quick tapping. I think that's all I did. Um, it was like just thinking about things, which is always good. And I did kind of a rough draft of my day. So, oh wait, I did a meditation too, a new meditation too. Yeah, I did. And I was talking about going on the train of success, and so it's just all good stuff. Um, and then, I went downstairs and I was there for my daughter, and I actually turned off the music and I asked her um, if you lived in like a tiny house, because we like watching those tiny house shows, and it's like if you could only bring like 10 things to entertain you, what would they be, and just connecting with her, which is just fun and interesting. And I'm hopefully leaving soon to get some food. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely in that like I really want to think about things and kind of, I don't know, the best way I can describe it is kind of like, no pun intended, but like a tornado of thoughts. And it's not that the goal for me personally right now is to eliminate all those thoughts, it's to kind of sort through them. um, Kind of like a slingshot that's being pulled back. um, and just reminding myself. So one of the things they asked during the meditation was, what is something you need to do in order to reach your destination? And I heard it clear as day. It was have better boundaries. Like, have boundaries and hold your boundaries. You know, do not allow the opinions, demands that aren't necessary of others to prevent you from going for what you actually want and directing your energy where it actually belongs, type of thing. It's almost like this vortex that's trying to suck me in of like, no, you can't have that. And it's like, that's not necessarily true, you know? Um, so, yeah, it's just ultimately going to be, I think, another breakthrough. So, it's all good. And I'm just reminding myself of that, like the feelings, the thinking, as long as it's helping me realize things, and it very much is productive and effective. And I just think of like Einstein and like these amazing inventors and stuff. They spent a lot of their time thinking. you know like, they weren't doing busy work all the time, because then they would have no time to think, right? So um plus I notice that the times that I get to do that, I come up with really great ideas that help other people, which is what I want to do. So anyway, it's almost like there's two worlds, and it's like, yeah, I don't want to be in that like going in a circle hamster wheel world. I don't want that. I want to create my world. And that literally starts with better boundaries of like, so just reminding myself of that, because there's always going to be that pull to the familiar, but I have to remind myself the brain equates familiar with comfort and safety, even if the conscious mind and like our soul, that's probably what it is. It's like our conditioning versus our soul, and that's kind of the tug of war I'm currently in. That's what it is. Because it's like, well, this is what I want, and then to be told, well, you can't because of this, this, and this. You know, that's why we say like it's soul crushing, right? But luckily the soul is stronger than past conditioning. So this is me once again walking the walk and just reminding myself I'm worthy just like anybody else. Even if others don't treat me that way, it doesn't mean that I'm not. And same thing with you. Like, you are worthy just like anybody else. You just are, you know? You take a breath, like, you know, you're entitled to the same oxygen as anybody else, you know? You're entitled to look at trees just like anybody else. And the feelings that come up around that, I'm reminding myself they need to be felt so I can see how untrue they are, and I can assign the belief to where it belongs, which is not me. It's not me. So then the feeling of unworthiness and all those negative things can rightfully turn to anger towards the people that continually try to put that on me. And then I can use the feeling of anger to set better boundaries and then go on with what I was actually, you know, like continue to rise basically and help other people. So I just keep reminding myself I would rather be, if I only had two choices at this moment, I would rather be rejected for who I am than accepted for who I'm not. Because I'm just not going to stunt my growth anymore. I'm just not. And it's nothing against other people. It's just, they're not my people. Like, it's not what I want. It's not what I've ever wanted. I've just been controlled by conditions and literally stuff thrown at me. So then I did the right thing. And I don't regret any of that. I don't regret, you know, saving my daughter, like any of that. I don't regret any of that. But that does not mean that that's, you know, the pinnacle of my journey. So yeah, it's deep stuff for, you know, 8 a.m., but that's my soul bursting through and being like, hey, this isn't okay. Because what happens is you start to access these higher things and then you get slammed back down by people who, for whatever reason, conscious or not, they don't want you to grow, because then they realize you might outgrow them. But the solution isn't when someone's outgrowing you to try to yank them back down. Like, that person should have some self-awareness, and clearly they don't, because they'd rather stunt your growth than grow themselves. And I'm just not doing that anymore. I might feel like I need to, but I'm not doing that anymore. My soul every day is getting it's bursting out. So that being said, I'm going to get ready to get some food. But yeah, deep thoughts with me in the morning. All right, love you guys.